Hey guys, my name is Michael English, and I'm a coach with New Nation Nutrition. And if you aren't aware of exactly my area of focus is, I am a keto nutrition coach. So I work with anybody that wants to, focus on a ketogenic diet. It's not the only thing that I can coach. I can coach also some more conventional macros, but since I've been doing keto for roughly about 4 years now, I'm making that my primary objective, trying to bring as many people to it as possible that really want to give it a go and help them to do it right. But today, I figured it was about time that I come on live and talk to you guys a little bit about what keto is and kind of address some of the concerns that some people might be having when, before they go after a ketogenic diet. To give you a little bit of insight, in case you don't know exactly what a keto diet is, you just really need to understand that it is a very low carb and high fat diet with moderate protein. So the whole idea of the ketogenic diet is to get yourself into a state called ketosis, and what that does is basically your body is producing ketones for energy, and it puts you into basically a fat burning state, and your body becomes a fat burning machine. Like any diet, it's not perfect. It's not a quick fix to anything that you're trying to address, but it has helped me in a lot of aspects of my life and my physical goals as well as mental goals. So again, I've been doing this for 4 years. No problem with longevity, for that matter, along with some other people that I've followed and even spoken with in the past. So one of the things that I really wanted to address is that, when people dive into keto, they are under this misconception that they eat net carbs. Now, what is net carbs? It's basically the gross number of carbs listed on a nutrition label less the amount of fiber or sugar alcohols that are in whatever you are eating. So people do that, and what has happened is that a lot of food corporations have been able to take advantage of that by pumping out a ton of processed junk food that you really don't need in your diet, and we still don't fully know the entire effect of these sugar alcohols. Some people have even shown them to increase insulin levels. And there's just a lot of artificially made goods in those foods that are just horrible. The other thing to keep in mind about net carbs is that you might be, counting just the net carbs. So if you have 20 grams of carbs less 15 grams of fiber, you think you're only eating 5 grams of carbs. Yet the calories still matter, even when you're tracking macros. So even though you're only you're only tracking 5 carbs, you're still eating the entire number of calories that are in that food. So while you think that you're getting less, you're actually getting more than you're supposed to overall. So yeah, macros matter, but still, macros are derived from your overall calorie count. So that's something important to keep in mind. So stay away from net carbs. Track the whole carbs. Tracking net carbs only gets you net results. I heard that from a guy. I love using it. The other thing to keep in mind is when you're doing keto, a lot of people want to take foods that they used to eat before and keto it. So, like making a pizza and having a keto crust that, you think is keto. And it is really important to, get away from that stuff. If it was a bad habit before, it's a bad habit now, even when you're doing keto. Even if you'd make it keto, it's because one of the biggest things about the ketogenic diet is it's about breaking the bad habits that you had before. It's about breaking sugar addictions and overeating habits, because it's supposed to keep you very well satiated, pretty full, and break a lot of those cravings that you have. That was one of the greatest benefits for me. I always had a hard time eating on a more conventional diet because it left open room for me to make mistakes and excuses to break away from my diet. At least ever since doing a ketogenic diet, I realized that for me, I need hard no's. There are certain things that I cannot eat, or else it'll mess me up. I'm not saying that you have to be perfect. I mean, every now and then, if there's a birthday party, I'm not gonna, if someone's throwing me a birthday party, I'm not gonna say no, I don't want your cake. I'll have the cake. I've just been doing a ketogenic diet so long that it's not so hard for me to bounce back into that fat adapted state. So the longer you are keto, the easier it is. Like if you do, have like once in a blue moon a thing that isn't what you would consider as a ketogenic part of a ketogenic diet, it's not going to kill you. So don't stress yourself out over that. Again, just stay, try to remember you're breaking habits on a ketogenic diet. You're sticking, like the whole premise, one of the biggest premises behind a ketogenic diet is that you're eating whole foods, you're eating, grass-fed beefs, just all the stuff that you're supposed to have. Another thing that people get concerned with, and that there's a lot of misconceptions about, is there are certain types of workouts that you have to do when you're on a ketogenic diet. You can't do this, you can't do that. HIIT workouts, you're going to struggle with your HIIT workouts, and that's just not true. I mean, in the initial phase when you're first starting a keto diet, a lot of people will go through what is called the keto flu. It's basically, your body you're depriving your body you're depriving your body of sugars and carbohydrates, and so it's it's trying to make this switch over into ketosis. But a lot of people will go through this phase of just headaches and sometimes nausea. It just does feel like the flu at times, but you do get over that hump. So I think what a lot of people see is when they start a ketogenic diet, they go diving into a hardcore workout and realize, wow, I feel like crap. And the important thing to remember is that you got to push through that, and remember it's just a phase. And once you get into that fat adapted state, you're going to be all the much better for it. I CrossFit while I'm keto. I haven't always done CrossFit, but I've been on and off. But yeah, I do CrossFit while on a ketogenic diet. I feel definitely stronger than ever and faster than ever. One of the things that I like to do is I'll even fast my way through a workout. And the great thing about a ketogenic diet is that it does keep you so well satiated, and the food is more like, it's having so many fats gives you such more sustainable energy. Once you're in a fat adapted state, it's much easier to fast through a workout. You don't have to fast. They run together so well because of what keto does for you, but it's certainly not a prerequisite. Some people that you should really check out, and people that I have followed and talked to and have really helped me through my keto journey, and a testament to even working out, check out Keto Savage. The name says it all. He's a savage. He's a pro bodybuilder and fully keto. Actually, I think he's now carnivore, which is a whole nother story. But yeah, he's completely, he's a ketogenic bodybuilder, and he has done this for years. Another person to look up is Rachel Gregory. She's even done her own studies with study groups on CrossFit and keto, and have found a lot of great information out there proving that a lot of people have actually increased their performance while on a ketogenic diet. I certainly know that I have. And so the other thing to keep in mind, another person to look into is who I would consider the OG of a ketogenic diet is Mark Sisson. He has a book that's called The Primal Blueprint, and the guy is just a wealth of knowledge. His book is fantastic. If you can get past him talking a lot about himself, you can. There's a lot of great knowledge out there for that. So one of the questions that popped up: what's a typical meal look like for me? Thank you, Chelsea. So because I fast, I'll typically have about 2 meals a day. And they're very, I make sure that those meals encompass all of my macros that I'm supposed to eat for a day. And so I can dive a little bit deeper into that. I'll typically have, one of my meals will be like 2 grass-fed hamburger patties. I'll also throw in some fresh chopped vegetables like zucchini, broccoli, maybe a little bit of onion. Onion can has a few extra carbs in it that can kind of throw you off. But I'll still throw a little bit in there. Any sort of vegetable, really. And I'll even toss them in some oil, like coconut oil, olive oil, avocado oil, and you can fry those up in a pan, or I'll even toss them with some seasoning and throw those in an air fryer, or bake them in the oven. However much, depends on how much I'm making that day. But I don't even really, track my vegetables anymore, just because it's just one of those things that we all still need, and I'm not going to stress myself out over just making sure I stay under a certain carb load. But like but that's mostly just because I've done this for so long. Those are certain things that I don't necessarily have to worry about anymore. I just eat a ton of vegetables with every single meal, and that's basically where all my carbs go to. And they're delicious. So, people, want to get, all sickening over vegetables, but when you toss those into some really good oils and season them up, they're pretty damn delicious. So, it's just as good as the meat. But, some things that I'll eat throughout, that I have on a daily, or just keep on my grocery list. I have nut butters, nuts in general. I have maybe 1 or 2 servings of those per day. Of either of those. Again, you want to keep everything as natural as possible, as minimally processed as possible. That will ensure that you have the best results when you're sticking to a ketogenic diet. I don't buy any keto snacks like I talked about before. There's just too much stuff in it. Stay away from that. Stick with vegetables, grass-fed beefs, free-range meats, and eggs. I eat probably about 5 or 6 eggs every morning. So, let's see. Got another question here. So, alright, so keto works well for a variety of different things. I wouldn't say it's for just, it's just for weight loss. I wouldn't ever say that. I've used keto to accomplish goals for weight loss, but I've also done it to, gain muscle mass and or just kind of, lean out, get cut a little bit. Or just even maintenance. It's really, you really just treat it just like any other diet. I mean, yes, it is a great weight loss tool. Heck, even, a lot of people, I myself included, whenever you first get into a ketogenic diet and just cut out all the carbs, you even drop like some 6 to 10 pounds of water weight instantly. That'll happen in a span of about a week. And then from there, a lot of times I'll keep it on a pretty good 1 pound a week. I've found keto successful in every aspect of my life. Again, you just treat it like, this is your lifestyle now. And that's how I've always treated it for me, that, everywhere I go out to eat, that's what I do. That's how I eat. I look for food, salads. My go-to is wings at most restaurants, because that's a pretty easy thing to get and know that you're still sticking into a ketogenic lifestyle. As far as job types, I don't think that there's really any limitation here for, like, if there's certain types of work that a ketogenic diet wouldn't work for. Hell, if you're doing like I said, with a ketogenic diet, I've had far more energy than anything. So if you're any other diet, I don't have any crashes or anything. So if you're doing something like manual labor, this could be an extremely beneficial workout for you, because a lot of people will go and eat lunch and then have to get back to work and then find themselves in this massive lull because they had this heavy meal and might have been the first meal of their day, or had a snack in the morning, and now they're just crashing at the end of their day. That's one of the greatest benefits of a ketogenic diet, is that you're not experiencing these ebbs and flows of your energy. It's meant to give you sustainable energy throughout the day. So I'll give you an example though. My brother-in-law, he did a ketogenic diet for a short period of time. It's just a disciplinary thing. But he said that he felt better than he ever had being on a keto diet, and wasn't falling asleep at the end of his work, or just he wasn't getting tired at the end of his day. He was just, and he told me, he's like, I don't really know what to do with all this. So he had too much energy, so I've worked a lot of manual labor jobs in my day, and I've done those on a more conventional diet. I'm not knocking it. I'm not saying that ketogenic diet is for everybody and everybody should do it. It's all about what you're capable of doing and what you're willing to do. But I know what those crashes feel like. So, but yeah, ever since doing a ketogenic diet, I think that it's been able to give me a lot of sustainable energy, break a lot of brain fog. That's kind of a big word nowadays, is a lot of people are experiencing brain fog, and how do I get rid of that? And it gives you a lot of strength in your mind and physically as well. So that's kind of what I want to talk about. I would love to hop on here at another Wednesday, What the Wednesday. So, if you have any questions, feel free to hit me up. My email is englishm91@gmail.com. I'd be happy to answer those